here at AWS On Air during reInvent, and we're with one of our partners. I'm Am Grabelny, a developer advocate here at AWS, one of your hosts for AWS On Air. Jeff, tell the people who you are.
My name is Jeff Mershak. I'm a senior solutions architect for our DoD Air Force team. And let's introduce our partner.
Yeah, Subbu.
I'm Subbu Iyer, CEO Aerospike.
All right, we're talking Aerospike, which I love when we get to talk to our database partners. I'm a big database fan, especially one like Aerospike that is so extremely flexible. But can you talk maybe a little bit about how is data such a huge asset, and how has it become, over the years, such a huge asset to spawn so many different types of databases that we've got now? And how has that influenced how you all have built Aerospike?
Great question, Am. So I think what we see out in the market is, and you heard Adam talk about this morning, which is data is growing exponentially.
Right.
But we also see even faster growth in real-time data. So really, we see real-time data growing at north of 35%. But organizations still are challenged to really harness and drive value from that real-time data. And if you look at the challenges and the pressures on organizations, on the one hand, you and I as customers want instant answers to everything. So you have to act on the data in real time while that data is growing exponentially. That creates a huge challenge from the ability to actually drive applications that work in real time at scale. And that's what we are really good at.
Oh, interesting. Scale. That's a big challenge when it comes to data.
That is a huge challenge, yes.
So we need to harness that data, but that's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to expand the IT footprint. You have man hours to do that. How is Aerospike helping customers with that problem?
So what we did was we built a new platform from the ground up for what we call modern applications. Modern applications are really applications that need to harness data in real time, as I just mentioned. And it's really built on 4 tenets. One, it's predictable performance at any scale, or unlimited scale as we call it. And scale could be growth in data, it could be really throughput, or it could be concurrent users that are growing on your application as your application becomes more and more popular.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Usually, databases do well at low scale, but do not keep up in performance as demands on scale grow up. But Aerospike can do that. It can kind of stay with you.
Yeah.
First kind of pillar. The second is, really low latency. So, we can drive incredibly low latency to drive this predictable performance for your applications. The third piece is what we are known in the industry really remarkably well, and which is really resonating well with customers right now, is low TCO. So we have customers who basically have run their applications on Aerospike on an instance or server footprint that is 80% less than some of the other competing kind of technologies that are out there.
Right.
So let me say that again, 80% less server footprint or instance footprint.
that is
just incredible,
yeah,
right?
Agreed.
So you do that, and then you add in, just for the heck of it, high availability. The system doesn't go down.
Just for the heck of it.
Yeah,
just for the heck of it.
Why not?
It can be 2 different AZs in a region. It can be 2 different AZs in a country.
Yeah.
You can stretch the cluster across continents, and it just works like a charm in a strongly consistent manner. And this is really important for people to understand, because applications and databases, especially in NoSQL, will push you towards eventual consistency.
Right, you usually have to go according to the CAP theory. Right?
Exactly. So eventual consistency is great, but the reason is they take a hit on performance if you turn strong consistency mode on. We don't. So no longer dirty reads that you have to deal with. You have all your data available all the time, and these are the 4 pillars that really bring Aerospike to life, and our customers really enjoy that.
I know we're here to talk specifically about a new feature. I'll say maybe I don't want to give it away yet, so stay tuned. But I have to go back to my background as a software engineer. I remember a time, Subbu, when databases were not a developer's realm, right? That was a completely different tier, staffed by, and it still is in some companies, some workloads, staffed by DB admins, people that are not writing code, and then NoSQL happened, and that started drawing devs more into the database tier,
right?
Because it made it more accessible, right? A lot of JSON document type databases came out, and it was, oh, just like, I work with JSON all the time from an API. This is just like that. It made it more accessible, but there were so many challenges rolling out to NoSQL, right? And what I've noticed about Aerospike and what I really love is that you all make it not just highly performant, but flexible, right? It can operate as a cache if you need it to. You all have SQL querying capabilities on top of document capabilities too.
Yep.
What drives that flexibility? I mean, that's a very, in my mind, I'm saying it, but I don't know if it's true. It's a very developer-centric kind of thinking to me when I look at it.
Yeah.
What drives those decisions for you all to make those new querying types available?
It's a great question, and I think you're absolutely right. I think in today's economy, developers basically, run the world, if you will. As organizations are digitally transforming, they're the ones who are building these new applications and new capabilities and standing up new services in large companies, small companies across the globe. So we really focused on making the life of the developer easy in terms of building applications on top of Aerospike. So, a couple of things. We started as a key value store, along with those 4 tenants that I talked about. Then we added JSON and document support earlier this year, so that if you're building document databases or document stores at scale, Aerospike can do that really easily for you. A lot of JSON or document databases out there, do not afford the scale that our customers desire or the high availability. And scale and high availability are 2 tenets which are built into Aerospike from day one.
I love that.
So you now layer on documents as a data model. We can scale and we can provide the highest availability that you need for JSON documents. Then we partnered with Starburst to really offer SQL querying, as you mentioned, AM. So now you can do SQL querying on the data that is resident within Aerospike. We're working on a graph solution. We have it in beta.
Yeah.
And in the first quarter of next year, we'll release Graph, and this is really going to be Graph at an amazing scale. Just to give you an example, PayPal is a big customer. If you use PayPal to pay anybody, your friends or family or whatever, it's actually going through Aerospike for fraud analysis in real time. You and I are not going to wait around for 20 seconds for PayPal to come back and say yay or nay.
No.
So it has to happen in real time, in an instant. And that's a graph solution with billions of vertices and endpoints. So this is the scale and the expertise that we bring out there. So what we want to do is, we want folks to actually build applications that they need using the data models that they need on Aerospike. Learn once, scale infinitely, or as we have it here, build once.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Well, I mean, that's usually the hard part about databases. Everything, like you said, they don't scale well. All databases usually run pretty good when they start out.
Right.
It's the year down the road, and then a lot of people have to figure out smart ways to scale data. That's the hard part. So I'm glad to hear that that's part of the Aerospike.
We've got to get to, and this is another area I love too, cost, right? And something that you all at Aerospike just did with Graviton
is
to
exciting.
reduce cost.
Yes.
You want to talk about that, Subbu?
Yes. So I mentioned earlier that we can basically collapse the footprint from a instance types, number of instances or servers, by about 80%, right? Even with without Graviton in the picture. And then we just announced support for Graviton 2. So we released 6.2 of our database product that supports Graviton. And what we see is a 63% improvement in price performance on Graviton 2.
That's awesome.
amazing.
Right? That's just Graviton 2.
And we haven't moved to 3 yet.
Not
Aerospike.
yet kind of moved to 3. We did a quick and dirty test on 3, but I just heard Adam this morning talk about a 25% better price performance on 3 versus 2. So you have base Aerospike, which is giving you 60 to 80% TCO reduction by collapsing your footprint by 80%, up to 80%. Then you deploy it on Graviton, you get a 63% price performance. Then you go to Graviton 3.
Just for the heck of it. Just for the heck of it.
Just for the heck of it. You just compound these benefits.
Yeah.
It's just amazing TCO story.
I love it. We got 30 seconds left, Subbu. Where can people go to try out Aerospike?
So go to our Try Now page. It's www.aerospike.com/LP/try-now. You can download the product. You can play with the product. The other URL is developer.aerospike.com. It's our developer hub. You have tutorials, documentation, a sandbox. And then you can come and visit us, 3835 booth number on the floor. You get a demo of Aerospike Cloud Database as a Service launching now.
So go check out Aerospike and stay tuned for more from AWS On Air. We'll be right back.
Build one, scale forever.